The prairie at night is a place of endless wonder. When the sun dips beyond the far horizon, its golden light melts into a sea of lavender dusk, and the tall grasses bow gently to the approaching stars. Soon, the moon emerges, a silver lantern hung in the heavens, casting its glow over fields that seem to stretch into forever. The air carries a cool hush, touched only by the voices of the wind. They move softly through the grass, bending each blade as though in quiet conversation. The prairie has always been a keeper of whispers, whispers of earth, whispers of sky, whispers of all who have walked here before. Tonight, as you rest in the embrace of this story, let your mind wander across the wide American plains. Imagine lying upon a soft quilt of grass, the stars glittering above like ancient embers. The moonlight brushes your skin with its pale glow, and every sound becomes a lullaby. The rustle of cottonwood leaves, the cry of a night bird, the distant rhythm of a coyote's howl. Here, in the calm heart of the prairie, stories unfold like petals. Each one is a gift from the land, a tale passed through time, meant to comfort, to guide, and to remind us of the gentle beauty that surrounds us. Long ago, before cities rose and fences divided the land, the people of the prairie told stories of the moon. To them, the moon was not only a light in the sky, but a guardian spirit. Her silver glow guided hunters across dark fields, soothed weary children to sleep, and reminded all who gazed upward that no night was ever truly empty. One such story tells of a young child who lived in a village along the plains. She was small, curious, and full of questions. Each night, she would look up at the moon and whisper, "Why do you watch us so closely?" The moon, touched by the child's wonder, decided to answer. One night, as the village slept, the moon sent down a beam of light that fell gently upon the child's face. In air dreams, the child found herself standing in a meadow bathed in silver. The moon appeared before her, glowing like a mother wrapped in white. "I watch because I care," said the moon. "I keep the night gentle, so you may rest. I guide the wanderer, protect the dreamer, and remind your people that even in darkness, there is light." The child smiled and said, "Then I will always look for you, even when I am afraid." From that night on, whenever the moon rose, the child felt safe, and so did her people, for they believed the moon's light carried the promise of protection and peace. As you hear this tale, let the moon's presence comfort you too. Imagine her silver glow wrapping softly around your spirit, telling you that tonight is a night of safety, of rest, of quiet dreams. Far across the prairie, another voice calls the familiar cry of the coyote. To the people of the land, Coyote was more than an animal. He was the trickster, the wanderer, the teacher of lessons hidden within mistakes. One tale says that Coyote once tried to steal fire from the stars. He wanted to bring warmth to the prairie, for winter winds had grown sharp and cold. He leaped and leaped, his paws striking the earth with determination, but the stars remained far above. At last, exhausted, Coyote lay on the prairie floor and gazed at the sky. The stars glittered kindly, and one of them spoke. "You cannot take us with you, but look closer, you already carry light within." Coyote realized then that his howl itself was a flame, a song that lit the night with spirit and courage. From that day forward, when the prairie people heard his voice echo across the grasslands, they remembered that even in the coldest darkness, warmth lives inside the heart. Now, let the wind draw you deeper into the night. With each breath, you feel yourself drifting, your body sinking into rest, your spirit rising to follow the stories. Imagine walking slowly along the moonlit prairie, where shadows stretch long and the grasses sway like waves. Every step is soft, every sound is soothing. The earth beneath you is firm, grounding you, while the stars above pull you gently toward the world of dreams. The prairie is not just land, it is memory, it is song, it is the endless unfolding of time. And tonight, as the wind whispers, you are part of its story. The night deepens over the prairie. The stars bloom brighter now, each one a pearl upon the black velvet sky. The grasses hush, listening. The earth feels still, as though holding its breath, waiting for the next story the wind will bring. And so, the wind arrives cool, gentle, and carrying with it a tale that has lived for generations. It is a story woven into the soil, whispered through the roots of the tall grass, and remembered in the songs of those who once called this prairie their eternal home. Long ago, when the people of the plains looked to the skies for wisdom, a great leader dreamed of a web spun from moonlight. In T's dream, a delicate circle was woven with threads finer than silk, strong enough to hold both shadows and light. When Ea woke, the leader told the elders, "I have seen a gift from the spirits. It will catch the dreams that wander through the night. The good dreams will slip through its center, like sunlight streaming through grass, and they will find us as we sleep. The bad dreams, tangled in its web, will vanish when touched by dawn." And so the people began to weave circles of willow, filling them with webs of sinew and strands of feather. They hung them above their resting places, letting them sway gently in the prairie breeze. From that day forward, the people slept peacefully, trusting that the dreamcatcher was their guardian in the dark hours. Even now, when you close your eyes beneath the moonlit sky, imagine a dreamcatcher above you. Its threads shimmer like silver. The wind passes through softly, leaving only the sweetest visions to drift down upon you. Let yourself rest, knowing the night will bring only peace. The wind turns again, and with it comes the sound of distant thunder. But it is not a storm, it is the memory of the buffalo, once thundering across these endless plains. For the prairie people, the buffalo was life itself. Its strength fed them, its hide clothed them, its bones gave tools, and its spirit gave courage. They believed that the buffalo carried prayers to the Great Spirit with every breath, and so they honored it with songs, dances, and gratitude. One story tells of a great white buffalo calf, born beneath a rising sun. The people saw this as a blessing, a reminder that balance between earth and sky, between human and nature, must be kept. The white buffalo was rare, sacred, a living sign that the world still held harmony. So when you hear the echo of thunder rolling across the prairie, let it remind you of the buffalo's strength and gentleness. Imagine their vast herds moving under the moon, their silhouettes dark against the silver grass, their breath rising like mist. In their presence, there is both awe and comfort, a reminder that we are small but never alone. The prairie is not only calm, it is a place of rebirth. The wind now whispers of fire, of flames that once swept across the grasslands. To some, fire seemed like destruction, but the people of the plains knew the truth. Fire was part of the cycle of life. When the dry winds carried sparks and the land burned with red light, the prairie was not ending it. It was beginning. From the ashes rose stronger grass, greener and taller than before. Flowers blossomed in colors so vivid they seemed painted by the dawn itself. The people told their children, "The fire is not the end, but the breath of the earth renewing itself." So too, in our lives, there are moments that feel like fire moments of loss, of change, of endings. But just as the prairie blooms again, so too do we rise from ashes, renewed, reborn, stronger than before. As you drift towards sleep, let this thought settle within you. Even in endings, there are beginnings. Even in loss, there is renewal. The prairie teaches us that nothing truly ends. It simply changes shape and finds new life. The night is quiet now, and the wind grows softer still, almost like a song. Imagine the stars above as lanterns hung by ancestors, guiding you gently into dreams. Some elders told that every star is a spirit, watching, protecting, reminding us that love never disappears. Those who leave the earth become part of the sky, shining above the prairie, whispering back to the ones below. So when you look to the heavens, you are never truly alone. You are surrounded by countless stories, countless guardians, each twinkling light a voice reminding you that peace is always near. The prairie night holds you gently. You are safe here, within its vast embrace. The grass bends in rhythm with your breath. The stars keep their quiet watch, and the moon, steady and silver, pours her light upon you like a blanket of calm. Sleep may begin to pull at your spirit now. If it does, let it. If not, stay a little longer, for the prairie has more stories yet to tell. The wind will carry them, one by one, until the night has sung you fully into rest. The prairie night stretches endlessly, like a sea of silver waves beneath the stars. Time slows here. The air is gentle, carrying scents of wild sage and sweetgrass. The moon still holds her watch, steady and bright, while the wind gathers yet another story. Each tale is like a stepping stone across a quiet river. You drift from one to the next, each carrying you deeper into rest, deeper into the embrace of night. Among the wide prairies lives a bird whose voice carries across the land amid. Its song rises like golden light, sweet and clear, filling the dawn with hope. The people of the prairie once told a story of how the meadowlark earned its voice. Long ago, when the earth was young, all birds had voices, but no song. They chirped and called, but none carried music. One night, the moon asked the birds, "Who among you will sing to greet the dawn?" The eagle soared but was silent. The hawk was proud, but gave no melody. Then came the meadowlark, small and humble. She lifted her head to the stars and sang, her voice weaving with the breeze. The moon smiled, and from that moment, the meadowlark's song became the herald of morning. So, when you close your eyes tonight, remember the meadow. Just as her song greets the new day, your dreams greet the dawn within you. Even as you rest, the world prepares to rise again, fresh and full of promise. The wind changes direction, carrying with it the sound of water, as though a hidden river flows nearby. The prairie once held rivers that shone like silver threads beneath the moon. To the people, rivers were sacred, for they were the veins of the earth, carrying life wherever they went. There is a story of one river that began as a tear. A young woman of the plains once prayed to the sky for her people, who faced a time of drought. She wept at the edge of the prairie, and her tears fell into the soil. The Great Spirit, moved by her love, turned those tears into a flowing stream. The river wound across the grasslands, bringing life back to the earth, calling bison to return, and feeding the roots of trees. Her people thrived, and they never forgot her sacrifice. They said, "Every river is born from love." As you rest tonight, let the sound of an unseen river flow through your mind. Imagine its cool waters moving gently across smooth stones, calming every thought, carrying your worries away. Above you, the stars shimmer more brightly now. The prairie has always been a canvas for the heavens, with no mountains to block the view, no walls to hide the sky. The land opens like an endless mirror, reflecting the vastness above. The Lakota once told stories of the star people. They believed that long ago, the stars walked the earth, teaching kindness and wisdom. When their time ended, they returned to the sky but left behind their lessons, hidden in stories and dreams. Tonight, imagine the stars not as distant lights, but as friends watching over you. Perhaps each one is a teacher, a guardian, or even a loved one whose spirit has joined the heavens. Their light is soft but steady, reminding you that you're always seen, always remembered, always part of something greater. Now listen closely to the wind itself. It is not only a messenger, but a spirit with a story of its own. The elders said that once there were 4 winds, each born from a corner of the earth. The north wind carried strength and endurance. The south wind brought warmth and growth. The east wind carried beginnings, and the west wind whispered endings and rest. Together, they shaped the prairie, bending grasses, guiding storms, and carrying seeds far across the land. The people honored the winds, for each carried a gift. As you listen tonight, perhaps the wind that moves through your imagination carries rest. West wind who whispers endings and peace. Let it soothe you, reminding you that every day has its sunset, every journey its pause, every heart its time for quiet renewal. Now the prairie falls silent once again. The grasses bow as though in prayer. The cottonwoods murmur low songs to the night, and the stars continue their watch. You have walked far across the fields of story tonight. Each tale has wrapped around you like a blanket, weaving comfort and calm. The dreamcatcher sways above, the buffalo thunder softly in memory. The river flows in silver streams. The stars hum their quiet wisdom. You are part of this prairie. You belong to its hush, its rhythm, its timeless unfolding. Breathe deeply, as though filling yourself with the very air of the plains. Exhale, as though releasing every burden into the open sky. The night accepts you. The prairie welcomes you. The moon smiles upon you. Here, in this vast and gentle land, sleep comes like the softest wind. The prairie breathes with a steady calm. The stars above scatter their silver dust across the night, and the moon glows higher, bathing the land in quiet radiance. The grasses sigh gently, and the wind begins to hum a deeper tune. It is a song of togetherness, a song once sung around fires that flickered in the heart of the open plains. Tonight, let us sit by that fire in spirit, watching its embers rise like sparks into the sky, carrying stories as old as the earth itself. Long ago, when the prairie people gathered at night, they sat in a circle around the flames. The fire was not only warmth, but a bridge between earth and sky. The crackle of wood was the voice of ancestors. The smoke rising into the heavens carried prayers to the Great Spirit. The people knew that in the glow of firelight, the world felt smaller, closer, and safer. Here, every story had a place. Imagine now that you are sitting in that circle. The fire glows softly before you, not fierce, but gentle, a steady heartbeat of warmth. Around you, the prairie stretches into darkness, vast and eternal. But within this circle of light, you are surrounded by comfort, by voices that speak with kindness, by tales that flow like rivers. Beyond the fire, in the shadows of the grasslands, a howl rises into the night. It is the wolf, whose voice has echoed across these plains for centuries. The wolf was seen as both hunter and guide, fierce yet loyal, a symbol of family and survival. One story tells of a lone wolf who wandered the prairie in search of belonging. For many nights, he howled to the stars, asking where he might find his kin. At last, the moon spoke. Do not fear your loneliness. Keep calling, and your voice will bring others to you. And so the wolf continued to howl, his song carrying across hills and valleys. One by one, other wolves answered, until he stood no longer alone but within a circle of family. Together, they sang to the night, their harmony weaving into the very fabric of the prairie. This story reminds us that no call goes unheard. Even when you feel alone, your voice matters. Your presence calls others near, even if you do not yet see them. Like the wolf, dear wolf, you are part of a greater song. The people of the prairie believed that every fire carried a spirit. Sometimes, when the flames danced high, they said it was the ancestors drawing close, their voices flickering with the light. A story tells of a child who sat by the fire, lonely after losing her father. She whispered her sorrow into the flames, and the fire crackled in reply. That night, she dreamed of her father's voice, carried to her by the smoke that rose toward the stars. When she awoke, her heart was lighter. She knew that fire was a messenger that, through its glow, her words had traveled beyond the sky. As you imagine the fire now, let its warmth reach you. Hear the soft crackle. See the sparks drift upward. Let the flames carry your worries away, turning them into light, into peace, into something far greater than yourself. Beyond the fire's reach, the prairie whispers. The tall grass bends and moves as though alive, as though touched by unseen hands. The people once said that the spirits of the land lived among the grass. They were not frightening, but watchful, gentle guardians of the earth. They guided the herds, carried the seeds, and whispered to dreamers in the quiet of night. Sometimes, when the wind rustled in the grass, people believed it was these spirits speaking, reminding them that the land and its people were one. Tonight, as you listen, imagine those whispers. The grass leans toward you, soft and patient. The spirits speak in silence, telling you, you are safe. You belong. You are a part of the circle of life, as endless as the prairie itself. Now the fire grows low, its embers glowing like tiny stars upon the ground. The wolves rest in their den, their howls quieted into dreams. The grass bends slower, swaying with the rhythm of your breath. You are carried deeper into stillness. Each story lingers like a gentle shadow, folding itself into your heart. The dreamcatcher still sways above. The river still flows within your mind. The buffalo still walk across memory's horizon. And now, even the fire hums in quiet contentment. Its spirit has shared its warmth, and it rests with you, holding your thoughts like coals that glow but do not burn. The prairie night is wide, endless, eternal. Within it, you are small but cherished, a star among stars, a voice among voices, a dreamer cradled in the arms of the earth. Breathe deeply now, as though inhaling the cool night wind of the prairie. Feel its calm move through you, settling every thought, softening every edge. Exhale, and let the worries of the day fall away like leaves upon the grass. The moon keeps her watch. The stars hum above. The fire glows faintly in your memory, and the wind promises that more stories await as the night drifts on. The night deepens, but the prairie never sleeps. It listens, it breathes, it dreams. The fire's glow has faded into quiet embers, and the air has grown cooler, touched by silver light. Overhead, the stars turn slowly in their great wheel, and the moon drifts higher, watching with patient eyes. It is in this hushed hour that new voices re-soft, steady, ancient. Tonight, the prairie tells its stories through the wing beats of owls, the glow of hidden lights, and the quiet steps of dreamers who walk beneath the moon. From a cottonwood tree at the edge of the grasslands, an owl calls low, deep and steady. To the prairie people, the owl was more than a bird. It was the keeper of secrets, the watcher in the night, the one who saw what others could not. One tale tells of a young hunter who lost his way under the dark sky. He wandered the prairie, frightened, unable to find the path home. At last, he sat beneath a tree and prayed for guidance. The owl answered, swooping silently down. Its eyes glowed like two small moons, and it led the hunter back to his village. From that night on, the people believed that owls carried the wisdom of night, and their call was both a warning and a blessing. So when you hear the owl tonight, let it be a reminder. Even when the path seems hidden, guidance comes. Even in the deepest night, there is a voice to show the way. The prairie whispers now of a traveler who once walked its fields beneath the full moon. She carried no lantern, for the stars lit her path. She feared no shadow, for the wind kept her company. As she walked, she listened to the earth. She heard the coyotes speak, the grasses hum, the rivers breathe, and she realized that she was never walking alone. The land itself walked with her. When she finally reached her destination, she looked back and saw that her footprints glowed faintly in the moonlight, as though the prairie had remembered her steps. And so, the story says, every journey leaves its mark, not only on the land but on the soul. As you listen tonight, imagine yourself as that traveler. Each breath is a step. Each heartbeat is a lantern. You are not lost. Not wandering, you are simply walking deeper into peace. There are moments on the prairie when strange lights flicker in the distance. Some call them fireflies, others spirits, others still the reflections of stars on the land. The elders told children that these lights were guides, appearing only for those who needed them most. Sometimes they led wanderers home. Sometimes they carried messages from loved ones gone. Sometimes they simply reminded dreamers that the world holds mysteries beyond what eyes can see. Close your eyes now and imagine these lights dancing on the horizon. They flicker gently, like tiny lanterns in the grass. They do not hurry you. They do not demand. They only guide softly, patiently, like friends walking beside you. Let these lights lead you deeper into rest. Follow them not with your feet, but with your breath. With every inhale, you draw nearer. With every exhale, you find yourself more at peace. The prairie has always been called a mirror of the sky. Its vastness reflects the heavens. Its grasses sway like waves of starlight. When you lie upon it, looking upward, it feels as though you are floating between two worlds, earth below, sky above, held in balance by quiet wonder. One story says that when people dream, their spirits rise just enough to touch this balance, to drift in that space where earth and sky meet. That is why dreams feel both real and otherworldly, both familiar and strange. So tonight, as you drift closer to sleep, imagine yourself lying in that place. The earth supports you, firm and steady. The sky opens above you, endless and inviting. And between the two, your spirit hovers, calm, weightless, free. The owl calls again. Its voice is steady, unhurried, echoing through the night like a chant. The prairie grows still to listen. And so do you. The people once said that if you listened closely, the owl's call carried words. Rest now. Rest now. Rest now. And so you do. The prairie holds you gently, as though cradling you in its vast hands. The owl keeps its watch. The guiding lights flicker softly in the distance. The moon pours her silver glow upon you, and the stars hum their endless lullaby. You are safe. You are guided. You are loved. And the night still has many more whispers to share. The night stretches long, but the prairie does not tire. It only softens, settling deeper into its own rhythm. The grasses sway gently, like waves upon a silver sea, and the wind carries its lullaby from one horizon to the other. Now, in this quiet hour, the prairie introduces new companions. Foxes that move like shadows, constellations that tell stories written in light, and winds that sing as they pass through the tall grass. At the edge of the moonlit fields, a fox moves silently, its fur kissed by silver. The prairie fox has always been a trickster in old tales, a clever one who teaches through riddles and laughter. One story tells of a fox who stole fire from the sky. The people were cold, the nights too long, and so the fox leapt higher and higher until it snatched a spark from the stars. With that spark, it lit the first fire on earth. From then on, the fox was both honored and teased. Honored for its gift, teased for its sly ways. Yet in every tale, the fox is never cruel, is playful, mischievous. A reminder that wisdom can come from laughter, and light can come from boldness. Ask Julius then imagine the fox moving through the prairie grass. You hear its soft steps. You sense its watchful eyes. It pauses, looks at you with a knowing glance, then vanishes into the night. Its gift to you is not fire this time, but rest an ember of calm glowing gently within. Look upward now. The sky is an endless canvas, painted with stars so bright they shimmer like diamonds upon dark silk. For the people of the prairie, these constellations were not random, they were stories, guides, reminders of life's great circle. The Big Dipper, high above, was said to be a great bear, forever wandering the heavens. The North Star was its eye, steady and bright, a point of direction for travelers on land. Another story told of the Milky Way, the path of souls. It was said to be the road spirits walked after leaving this world, a shining river across the night. Families would gaze upward and whisper to their ancestors, knowing they were walking that road, bathed in eternal light. As you breathe in, imagine yourself floating closer to those stars. You feel their calm. You hear their quiet hum. They do not rush. They do not fade. It remains steady, eternal, like the rhythm of your own heart. The prairie winds are restless by day, dancing, racing, playing with the grass. But by night, they grow gentle, soft as whispers. The people once said the winds were messengers carrying prayers upward and bringing blessings down. When the winds brushed the grass, it was the earth breathing. When they touched your face, it was the sky offering its comfort. One elder told this story. Long ago, when the world was silent, the winds were the first to sing. They taught the birds their songs. They taught the rivers their flow. They taught the grasses their sway. Even now, their song continues, endless, patient, kind. So as you listen, imagine the wind weaving through your breath. Every inhale is the prairie's song entering you. Every exhale is your heart answering back. Together, you and the prairie are part of one endless music. The fox returns in another tale. It is said that once a traveler asked a fox how to find peace. The fox laughed, spun in a circle, and ran off. The traveler followed, growing tired. But when he finally stopped, he realized he was no longer lost. The lesson was simple. Sometimes, in chasing the playful path, you find your way home. And so the fox reminds you now. Let your thoughts chase. Let them wander. Let them play. They will tire themselves out. What remains will be peace. On the prairie, everything is in balance. The fox with its cleverness, the stars with their stillness, the winds with their song. Each part belongs. Each part plays its role. And you, too, belong in this balance. You are not separate from the prairie. You are part of its story. Your breath is its wind. Your heartbeat is its drum. Your dreams are its constellations. The fox disappears into the grass. The constellations shimmer above. The winds sing their song, and you, resting in this moment, are held by it all. The prairie has no hurry, no end, no boundary. It stretches forever, carrying you gently into the realm of dreams. The prairie stretches wide, but Ibanera rivers find their way. They wind like silver ribbons through the grasslands, carrying the songs of water into the night. The rivers are storytellers, too patient.com, eternal. Tonight, the prairie offers not only the whispers of wind and stars, but the gentle lull of water, the voices of unseen spirits, and the harmony of creatures who share the night. The people once told of a river spirit who lived beneath the water's surface. She was said to have hair like flowing reeds and eyes as bright as moonlight on water. When the river was calm, she was at peace. When it swelled and rushed, it was her anger. But mostly, she sang soft, steady songs that echoed through the ripples and waves. Her voice was a lullaby for children and travelers alike, soothing hearts and easing weary minds. Even now, as the river winds through the prairie, her spirit is said to remain. If you listen closely, you can hear her humming, low and gentle, like a mother-ass song, cradling her child. So, close your eyes and imagine the sound of water flowing nearby. It moves at its own pace, unhurried, like your breath. Each ripple is a note, each wave a reminder. All things move forward, all things return to peace. At night, mothers and fathers once sang their children to sleep with songs born of the prairie. These lullabies carried the rhythm of the land, the sway of the grass, the sigh of the wind, the hum of the earth. The words promised safety. They spoke of owls watching, of foxes guarding, of rivers carrying dreams to gentle places. They told children that sleep was not an ending, but a journey walk into a meadow where ancestors and stars waited with open arms. Even if the words are lost to time, the feeling remains. The prairie itself sings these lullabies now. Its voices are the cricket's chirps, the coyote's distant calls, the soft rustling of grasses under the moon. Together, they form a symphony of comfort. Tonight, let these sounds be your lullaby. Let them carry you, gently, into deeper rest. The prairie is never truly silent. Beneath the cover of darkness, creatures stir softly. A rabbit hops gently through the grass. A deer steps cautiously, pausing to listen. Mice dart through the shadows, their tiny feet making the faintest whispers against the earth. To the people of the prairie, each creature held meaning. The rabbit was a symbol of gentleness and quickness. The deer carried grace and awareness. The mouse, though small, represented resilience and quiet strength. Together, these creatures painted the prairie with life, even under the stars. They reminded the people that even the smallest movements, the quietest presences, had a role in the great balance of the land. So as you listen, imagine these gentle lives moving peacefully around you. They do not disturb your rest. Instead, they add to it, weaving their presence into the tapestry of the night. The elders once told this story. The rivers on earth are mirrors of the rivers in the sky. Just as water flows across the land, stars flow across the heavens. When a person gazes into a river at night, they are looking not only at water, but at the pathway of souls above. It was said that the river spirit and the stars were sisters, one of earth, one of sky. They sang to one another, their voices joining in harmony. When you hear the river's song, you are also hearing the echo of the stars. And so tonight, as the river hums and the stars glow, you are listening to both at once, a duet of earth and sky, guiding you gently toward dreams. In the prairie night, nothing is alone. The river flows, the fox wanders, the owl calls, the stars shine, the wind sings, and the creatures stir softly. Each voice joins into one great harmony, calm, patient, endless. You, too, are part of this circle. Your breath joins the wind. Your heartbeat joins the drum of the earth. Your spirit shines like a star above. There is no separation, no distance. You belong fully, peacefully, eternally to this song of the prairie. The river continues its gentle flow. The night creatures move quietly, unseen, but always present. The stars reflect upon the water, and the lullaby of the land surrounds you. You are safe. You are part of the circle, and the prairie holds you close as you drift further into rest. The prairie has carried us far. Tonight, through whispers of wind, through tales of fox and owl, through the flowing songs of rivers and stars. Yet the journey is not finished. The prairie has one more gift to share. The voices of those who came before, the dream visions that rest within us, and the deep, gentle embrace of night. The people of the prairie believed the spirits of their ancestors lived in every part of the land. In the rustle of the grass, they heard grandmothers speaking. In the call of the coyote, they heard uncles laughing. In the shimmer of stars, they saw fathers and mothers watching. The ancestors were never gone. They walked with the living, softly, invisibly, like shadows woven into the air. At night, when the world grew quiet, their voices could be heard most clearly, offering comfort, wisdom, guidance. Tonight, imagine those voices reaching out to you. They do not speak loudly. They do not rush. They whisper, "You are not alone. We are here. We always have been." Let that truth settle into your heart. Like warm embers, you are carried not only by the prairie, but by generations of love, all holding you as you rest. Dreams, the elders said, were more than imagination. They were journey's paths, where the spirit wandered while the body rested. In dreams, one could meet ancestors, speak with animals, touch the stars, and walk the prairies of both earth and sky. One story tells of a child who dreamed of an eagle. The eagle carried him high above the land, showing him mountains, rivers, forests, and endless plains. When the child awoke, he understood that all places were connected, all lands part of the same great circle. So, as you drift now, know that your own dream vision. How it's, perhaps you will walk with the fox again, or hear the river spirit's song. Perhaps you will soar with the eagle, or speak with ancestors under the starlight. Whatever dream comes, it carries meaning, and it carries peace. The prairie night grows deeper still. The stars hum softly. The river flows steadily. The grasses sway like slow breaths. Everything is quieted. Everything is softened. Everything invites you to sink gently into sleep. Feel your body resting heavier against the earth. Feel your breath moving slower, calmer, like the rhythm of the prairie wind. With each inhale, you draw in peace. With each exhale, you let go of all burdens. There's nothing more to do, nothing more to hold. The prairie carries everything for you now. The voices of the ancestors return, soft and soar. Say, rest now. Dream now. You are safe in the circle. You are loved beyond measure. We will keep watch while you sleep. Their blessing is like a blanket of stars laid across your body, warm, weightless, endless. It wraps around you, holding you close, carrying you into the quiet beyond. The prairie stretches forever, but in this moment, it feels as though it exists only for you. Its winds sing to you, its rivers flow for you, its stars shine upon you alone. You are not small within it. You are not lost. You are part of it, inseparable, eternal. And so, as the prairie rests, so do you. As the stars dream, so do you. As the ancestors watch, you drift safely, deeply, into a place beyond waking. The prairie has whispered its tales. The ancestors have given their blessing. The dream visions wait just beyond this moment. All that is left is silence, peace, and rest. Sleep now, gentle dreamer. The prairie holds you. The night embraces you, and your spirit drifts quietly into the vastness of dreams. The prairie has shared its whispers of foxes and owls, of rivers and stars, of winds and ancestors. Each story has carried us deeper into rest, until now, the night has become a cradle, holding you in stillness. Yet, even as the night continues, the prairie begins to dream of dawn. Its rhythm slows, its song softens, and its stories close like the final pages of a well-loved book. There is a moment in the night when everything pauses. The wind's quiet. The creatures rest. The stars seem to hold their breath. This is the stillness before dawn, a sacred time, when both night and day touch hands, when the world feels suspended in peace. On the prairie, the people once rose in this stillness to greet the day. They believed it was the purest moment, a breath between worlds, a gift of balance. Now, imagine yourself resting within this pause. No demands, no movement. Only silence so gentle it feels like the earth itself is sleeping beside you. The prairie has no beginning and no end. Its stories, like its grasses, flow endlessly. Tonight, you have walked through many tales of rivers and foxes, of guiding lights and ancestors. Each story has led you here, to the center of the circle. The circle is not closing, it is continuing. For tomorrow night, the prairie will whisper again. For every night, its stories will be waiting, endless as the stars. And you, dreamer, are forever part of that circle. The ancestors whisper one last time. Sleep well, child of the earth. Sleep well, child of the stars. The prairie watches. The night protects. The dawn will come, gentle and kind. Their words linger like a soft breeze on your skin, warm and reassuring. They do not fade, they settle deep into your spirit, becoming part of you. Though your eyes are closed, imagine the horizon. It is dark now, but soon a faint glow will rise. The prairie will awaken slowly, the grasses shining with dew, the birds lifting their voices, the rivers sparkling with first light. Dawn is not here yet, but its promise is, and that promise is enough. It tells you that all nights end in light, all dreams return you safely, all journeys bring you home. So rest, dreamer. Let night carry you gently toward morning. Let dawn come when it is ready, soft and sore. There is nothing left to do. The stories are told. The night is complete. Let your breath be slow, steady, like the prairie wind. Let your body be heavy, still, like the quiet earth. Let your mind drift, free, like the stars above. Sleep now, rest now, dream now. This has been another journey with Whispers of the Wind, a dream carried by the whispering dreamcatcher. May the prairie's stories follow you into peaceful rest. May the stars guard your dreams. And may dawn greet you gently when you awaken. Good night, dreamer. Good night, prairie. Good night, stars.